a little bit loud in here, but we'll try this. Got a leak on our 6430. It leaks around that seal. To get this off, we got to take this off on both sides to get that cylinder out. And the book says you got to heat it up about 300 degrees to get the thread locker to release on the inside there. Got this side disconnected. This threads in. Once we get the other side off, we'll disconnect this whole cylinder underneath here. There are, I believe, 3 bolts that hold it in. We'll pull it out and get it over on the bench. And then we've got all new seals to rebuild that cylinder. Let's see if I can grab in our kit here. Try and get that thing all put back together so that it doesn't leak, and so it's ready for the field. All right, we've got that off now. Next step, we got to disconnect the hydraulic lines, and then there are 3 bolts that mount this thing in place. Pull that all out. We've got a kit of caps and plugs so that we can seal off the system so no dirt gets inside while we have this thing apart. But we will make sure that none of that gets in there to contaminate, scar up any of the parts on the inside and travel through the system and all that stuff. So we've got this block here that holds the lines in place. It connects to the cylinder here, and I think we got to pull this plug out because I don't know if you can see it, but this is the cylinder and it rides inside of this sleeve. So that has to be able to slide all the way through that out the other side. And if we leave that plug in, I don't think it'll go. Here's our line on the other side, but since it slides out this way, we won't have to remove this one. But then we've got a bolt here and 2 on the top. We'll get all that out, and then hopefully we can get this over to the bench. Oh, there's a nut on the back. Woo! Oh boy. I did it again. Did it work this time? It did. All right. I'm just knocking you guys all over the place today. There we go. All right, I am struggling to get that thing to come out of there. But as any semi-professional mechanic or amateur might do, I went straight to YouTube and found out that I can actually pull the cylinder, the inside piece that moves back and forth. I didn't think there was enough room to do this, but according to the video, there is. There should be enough room to actually slide that whole thing out on one side, and then I can put all the new seals on it and slide it back in. So I didn't have to disconnect the hydraulic lines. I didn't have to unbolt the cylinder. Yeah, pretty much most of what I've done so far did not have to be done according to that. So for right now, just in case run into other complications, I'm going to put the mounting bolts back in it that hold it into the axle, and then see if we can get the piston inside to slide out one end. If we can, then I'll go ahead and connect the hydraulic lines and all that. But for right now, I just want to see if I can actually get that thing out of there. A little more light now, that's good. Snap ring pliers. come out now. Victory! We've got it out here. And most hydraulic cylinders that I'm used to anyway, especially on farm implements where it's just raise or lower, this piece here would be on one end. And fluid would come in on one end and push against it, extending the whole thing out. And then when you retract it, it would push on this side. Well, this one, because it's a steering, this is dead center. So if you're turning to the right, pressure comes in on this side, pushing that way, and which would turn the wheels, well, that way. And conversely, when you turn the wheel to the left, it'll put pressure on this side, pushing the piston the other way, making the wheels go that way. So it's a little bit new for me, but I'm going to lay out my seals in order so I know which way they go on. I have not done much of this work, so I've got to be real careful on which way these things point. And you can kind of tell there's a tear right there, and there's some damage to this yellow one. I don't know if you can see it real well, but I'll lay them out in order so I know which way they go. See if we can do a successful rebuild, because I don't want to tear this thing apart again. All right, y'all, I apologize. I got a phone call, and you kind of missed the last little bit of this. It's back in. It's all hooked back up. The snap rings are on it. And the other side is done too here. Obviously, it would want to be. We got our new seals on there. Now, before we reattach the ball joints and tie rod assembly that goes to the tires, I'm going to fire this thing up. And I'm going to turn the wheel and get all the air out of the system and make sure I didn't do anything wrong and that nothing's leaking. And then we'll worry about reattaching the wheels, and we'll go from there. We do not appear to have any leaks, but I wanted to ask a question. Does that look like your first trip to the ski hill when you're trying to learn how to stop? She's done. No leaks, steers well. All of us put back together. One last thought while I'm cleaning up here. I heard this from a Christian comedian, and I thought it was a really good example, analogy, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I've had lots of people say this to me in my life, and I definitely thought it once in my life as well, right? Is if God knew all the things I've done, he would never want me. Or made so many bad choices, why would he ever want to help me anymore? If you go on a road trip, and this is what I heard from the comedian, so I didn't come up with this, so I can't remember his name now. But if you go on a road trip, you punch in where you're going on your GPS, right? Well, if you're going down the road and you miss an exit, you take a wrong turn, you take 16 wrong turns, does the GPS just go, well, you're done, see you later, good luck? No, it recalculates, right? To tell you what you need to do now after those choices and wrong turns. What adjustments do you have to make in the course to still end up at your destination? And I really like that analogy, because as hard as I try, I still slip, I still make mistakes, I still need forgiveness, I still need grace, I still need all those things. And it's one of those things that reminds me, gives me comfort, and just makes me feel a lot better about tripping and falling sometimes, knowing that when I make a mistake, I'll never be abandoned. He's just gonna recalculate the path ahead for me. And I really like that. I hope that helps you too. Y'all have a good one. Hope to catch you on the next one. Subscribe, like, do all those things. And after all that, I think I probably need to go read a few pages.